Hey guys, it's your boy Kel, and listen, before we get into the video, I just want to take the time to say thank you so much for your support. No matter if you're a YouTuber who takes it seriously and does it for a job or career, who gets monetized, or you're just a YouTuber who does it casually like I do. It can be very hard sometimes. It can be very hard, very challenging to not just make the videos and edit them and come up with ideas, but it takes a lot of motivation to keep us going, like mentally and emotionally, to put in the work, especially when we don't always see the results. But I just always wanted to say thank you. For the ones who've been with me since day one, since I first started my videos, thank you so much. You guys are true, you guys are the fam. And for the newcomers, welcome, hi, thank you. I hope that as you watch my videos, I entertain you, I make you laugh, I make you smile. With some videos I do, I hope I make you think and make you, find something within yourself mentally or emotionally or spiritually that you wasn't aware of before that helps you better in the future or helps you expand your mindset. And hopefully within the videos you watch, hopefully you find something that entices you to join the channel, subscribe. So again, I just want to say thank you guys. Like I said, no matter how many views I get and no matter how many subscribers, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for, subscribing to me, because thank you so much for supporting me and enjoying my videos. Or even if you don't enjoy my videos and you just want to support me, thank you so much for the love, you guys. Like, for real, thank you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know I don't say that much in my videos, and personally, when I watch videos, when I hear people say that all the time, I understand it can be annoying, it can seem forceful and intimidating. But please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The algorithm is really crazy. Unless you support the videos by liking them, there's no way our videos can get viewed. But even if you don't like a video, comment down below why. Put a thumbs down so I know what type of videos to give y'all, so I can know, okay, maybe this ain't the video for them. Or maybe, you can tell me something in the comments about how I can make my videos better, or what I said or what I did in the video that turned you off from the video. But like I said, no matter what, thank you guys. I hope y'all enjoy my video. Smile, laugh, relax. Maybe grab a notebook, because the way I talk about certain things, you might learn something. Who knows? But again, thank you guys, and y'all enjoy the video. So, it's the month of January, and if the rumors panned out to be true, reportedly, the Power Ranger franchise is heading either towards a new movie reboot or a cinematic universe. And they reportedly, again, if the rumors were to be true, we're supposed to start filming at the end of this month, right? So, with that being said, there's a few things we need to discuss, a few things we can speculate on, a few things we need to talk about. Because the question isn't whether they should or not. Because if you haven't already guessed, the answer in that is yeah, they should. It's more than apparent. While the Power Rangers franchise may not be as big as Marvel or DC, they are one of the world's biggest fictional franchises. And they are loved for kids. Young adults still like them. Even some older adults still relish in the nostalgia, the excitement that the Power Rangers can bring. So, with that being said, they should definitely do a reboot or cinematic universe, especially since we haven't had something new that was Power Ranger based within a few years now. Probably since 2023, 24? Yeah. So it's definitely time. So like I said, that isn't the question. The question is, how should they do it? How should they go about doing the cinematic universe? Because there's a few ways they can go. It's been rumored, like I said, that they might do a reboot. It's been rumored that they might do a sequel. But the main rumor that I've heard is that they will be picking up stuff and tying it directly into the comics. They will be doing a comic book universe, pretty much. And that's an interesting idea. But no matter what type of stories or teams that they pull from, like I said, there's some stuff we need to talk about. Because for this universe to work, we all know that the Power Rangers lore is expansive. And if you're looking at teams, There's so many different type of characters and teams that we have seen throughout the TV shows and the comic books. There's so many different type of stories that they could pull from. But when you're dealing with cinematic universe, not all of them would work well. And if you're looking at the TV universe, we already know that all of them definitely didn't work well. So, in this series, I'm going to be breaking down the teams they should not do, a team in which they should do. There's going to be videos about stories that they could use from the comics and stories that they can pull from when it comes to the world of the TV show. And I might do a few more videos after that. In any case, this series is going to be about how Power Rangers could finally step into the light to be more of a mature, stable universe that everybody could enjoy, that finally holds its own without so many doubts within its future. So, let's get into it.
All she ever say is come and see me for once. Come and see me for once. You don't ever come to me. Yeah. You don't ever come to me. Yeah. All she ever say is come and see me for once. Come and see me for once. You don't ever come to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, we don't know exactly if they're pulling from the TV universe, which most of the reboots or movies and stuff that they have done have pulled from, or what. So in this video, we're going to look at all the teams that have been canon to the TV universe in order through each era. You know, Jordan era all the way to the Hasbro era in order. And we're just going to say yay and nay. So, with that being said, y'all know the first era was the Jordan era. And the first team they should not do, that I do not want to see. It's not that I don't think they should do it. Yeah, actually it is. It's a team that I think they should avoid altogether, and a team that I do not want to see. I do not want to see the Mighty Morphin team anymore. I am so sick of this damn team. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Nostalgia has its place. I get that. I get that. Nostalgia has its place. But I think people hold on to that nostalgia just to say they are a part of something at this point. Because looking at it, that was a mess. It was a mess. Mighty Morphin is a mess. And even if it wasn't a mess, the team itself, there's so many different places you could use members within that team. There's so many different. I do not want to see the Mighty Morphin team anymore. But the real reason I do not want to see it, because every single time they do a Power Ranger thing, that's the team they go to for some reason. I don't want to see it anymore. They have done Power Rangers Mighty Morphin for the last movie reboot they did, which was amazing. The way they did it, because it was modern. It fit because it was modern. But outside of that, they have done it for once and always. They have done it for most of the crossovers. I just do not want to see the Mighty Morphin team anymore. And if your goal is to bring in new people, or if you're a franchise that is mainly for the younger audience and the kids, that is not the team you need to be using. That is not the team you need to be using. I don't want to see the Mighty Morphin team anymore. The next team I don't want to see, I don't want to see Turbo. I don't want to see Turbo. I don't want to see Turbo. Just don't do this, because it is highly agreed upon within the fan base of the community. This is one of the worst seasons ever. Y'all failed this season. And then, even if you didn't, Cars, Pirates, and then it's just too much going on. It doesn't mix. Don't do Turbo. I don't think you should do the Wild Force one. Wild Force is another one that people agree upon when they say that this is one of the worst seasons ever. And whether if you agree with that sentiment or not, the whole theming around Wild Force is based upon keeping the earth safe, pretty much. Keeping the earth clean and pollution control and stuff. Well, there's always someone who can do better when it comes to taking care of the environment. I feel like that particular theme, if you're heading for a more mature audience or a more mature cinematic universe, that's a season that just doesn't work for that. Because no older person is going to sit around and just want to hear about you picking up trash or how you shouldn't pollute and stuff. No one's going to do that. If you're going to do that, I feel like you should do like an off section of the universe, like Marvel or DC, where you do like animation styles or make something straight for the kids. That could be a project within that sphere. But other than that, do not do Wild Force. Well, Zeo is a team that I don't think they should do because it was one of the teams in one of the seasons that people disregard highly. They think it was a snooze fest. It's a team that I feel like you could do in a way that if you take out the robot part and save that for further down the line and focus on the Egyptian theme, why not refine this in a way where the source of powers that the Ranger get are from like Egyptian gods or like Egyptian creatures or something. Tie it into like Egyptian myth thing and actually lean into the Egyptian culture. Learn how to do like Rangers from the past. Do Rangers from the past because we have often seen Rangers from the past teased but never seen them. So like I said, if you were to do the Mighty Morphin team, do it in a way where we've never seen them. Like in the Boom Studio comics, we see the first team of Mighty Morphin Rangers from the era of the 60s or whatever, whenever they was about to do the first moon landing. Then in the Saban movie, we seen the Cenozoic era. Do Rangers like that if you want to do Mighty Morphin. But if you want to touch on further Rangers from the past, like further back, do like an Egyptian mythology type of thing or like Egypt culture type of thing. And tie the Zeo Rangers, touch on that Egyptian subtext that they was doing on and tie them to like Egyptian gods or Egyptian spirits or something. Egyptian magic. Do something like that. And that will be more interesting. And you can help the audience learn more about Egyptian myth. Because while a lot of mythology things are Greek-based, we don't have a lot of mythology things that we get to learn about when it comes to the Egyptian myths. So do it like that. Now, after Turbo and Zeo are in space and Lost Galaxy, these two teams, I don't think you need to have both. Combine them into one and do like a space-based unit. Just do a space-based unit and do a space-based team. Monsters and stuff trying to take over the galaxy or trying to find a new home for their planet, that works. So if you want to do those two teams and combine them and make it like either a separate area of the cinematic universe, like every other universe where you have your cosmology side, that's fine. Keep that over there. Or do it where that's the end game, like the ending part of a phase. Like Infinity War Endgame was the ending of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Or your third option, like I said, is to focus on that theming and where the Earth is destroyed already. And then you're trying, or the Earth is being destroyed, or humans are going to destroy it at some point in time. Do what Avatar was trying to do. And they're trying to prepare for the destruction of Earth. They're looking for a new home. But like I said, you don't need both. So look for one or the other. Okay, so the next one to look at outside that will be Lightspeed Rescue. When it comes to Lightspeed Rescue, this is one I think you could work with well and that I like. In a way where you can refine it, but at the same time, you don't have to. The idea of a government making their own heroes It's something you could play with. However, this is another one where I think you have to tweak it just a bit, because the whole demon thing, I feel like you could do that for other range genes that fits better for that concept. And when it comes to the whole government making their own rangers, if you have government making their own rangers, but the rangers who are actual rangers, you could end up having like a Power Ranger version of the Civil War event or the Devil's Reign event or something. Or in just something along those lines, which I feel like you could do a lot of cinematic and storytelling potential with. But like I said, the whole demon thing doesn't work. Plus, if you want to compare it to how we see ambulances and firefighters and police workers and all those type of people playing and the corruption within those systems, or how they're being forced out of work or whatever. Or you really want to tie into the whole emergency department of the society world, we could do that in a way. So I feel like this is one you can refine just a little bit, but still keep it in. Okay, so I know y'all see a different shirt than last time. Don't worry. It just got cold, so I put a jacket on. But in regards to the video, I know some of y'all realize that I probably skipped 2 different teams when it came to the Zordon era. Those teams being the Alien Ranger team and the Time Force team. But here's why. Because we are moving on to the Disney era soon, those 2 teams are some of the predecessors to some of the teams that we will see where the themes start to repeat dramatically. And I feel like when it comes to those teams and the teams that we will see with the repetitive theming back to back to back, they can either be refined altogether or merged and still kept the same. So we are going to touch on them only when it comes to the teams that kind of mash with what they are in general. But like I said, now that we're done with the Zordon era, onto the Disney era. And when it comes to the Disney era, y'all know this is the era that most people prefer. It's where Power Rangers was, to me and a lot of people, at its highest. Because you got a lot of maturity in the season, which they definitely dipped down upon when it came to the other 2 eras. And it's where they start to expand on the things that we see, even though those expansions still kind of repeat themselves. But anyway it goes. When it comes to Disney era, the first thing that we see is Ninja Storm. Now, this is the first team where it's ninja centered altogether. But we know that there is at least 2 more teams that are ninja themed. And that is the team of Ninja Steel. We also know that the Alien Rangers are ninja themed, and there was a ninja theme when it came to the Mighty Morphin season. Out of all of those ninja-based seasons, Ninja Storm is the greatest one. However, don't do ninjas. And here's why. The idea of Ninja Rangers have always been stupid to me. Rangers are public heroes, right? Sometimes you learn their identity, sometimes you don't. But they are heroes you see in the open. You see them visibly, you know what they're doing. They interact with the public, right? Ninjas are supposed to be sneaky. They're supposed to work in the shadows. Trying to merge the 2 does not work. It just does not work. And then when you're looking at the Power Ranger seasons that deal with ninjas, y'all keep adding too much to it. So, here's how you should refine it. Instead of Ninja Rangers being a focus in the main team, like I said, if you want to focus on the ninja aspect, keep the ninjas hidden. Keep the ninjas private. And focus on things like their training, like the Wing Ninja Academy did, right? But don't have it just for ninjas. Have this be like the beginning grounds for future Rangers. This is where you recruit them, your future protectors, or when a Ranger is out of commission due to an injury or whatever, or they're disgraced, or you need to punish them, whatever. Have them go back to the academy to train or recondition their body. That, or if you want the heroes to be seen as actual heroes, step away from the whole cinematic thing where heroes usually kill their villains or destroy their villains, and send a strike team to take care of stuff like that, where they could be discreet and the Ranger can still have their credibility intact. Or seeing as how a lot of the Ninja Ranger series dealt with certain stuff like collecting intel artifacts, like how you had to collect the ninja prisms and stuff from Ninja Steel or whatever. Have the Ninja Rangers be the one who go out and get intel and artifacts that you can retrieve through them, keep it in like a council, have the council overwatch what's going on. And then throughout the movies, we can hear information. We don't have to see it. We can hear the information about how the ninja teams received this, retrieved this, or our Black Ops unit did this, or you was trained here and stuff like that. But outside of that, like I said, merge them. Don't try to do all the repeating ninja teams, especially Ninja Steel, because Ninja Steel was terrible. And like I said, if you want to do the Animal Ninja thing, you can do that. But I feel like there's a different team that will be coming up soon that will work better with. But other than that, like I said, that's how you should do Ninja Storm. Okay, so the next one. Next one is Dino Thunder. Dinosaurs are something we have seen so many times. I'm getting sick of the dinosaurs. Now, when it comes to which ones you should focus on, you can focus on all of them, but merge them. The dinosaurs that are constant, keep them. And the dinosaurs that vary within the shows, pull them. We don't see a Mastodon in any other series except Mighty Morphin. We don't see a Pterosaur in any other show except Dino Thunder. We don't see a, what's it called? The Maximosa, Mastodon, the shark one, the shark dinosaur. We don't see that in anything except Dino Charge and stuff like that. So take the ones that are constant, then take the ones that we don't see within every other show, bring them in. Those are your Dino Rangers, right? Or even if they aren't your Dino Rangers, you can use them somehow to do like the spirit thing of the dinosaurs or whatever the case may be. Now, each of them, especially the first three, Mighty Morphin, Dino Charge, and Dino Thunder, dealt with you getting some type of dinosaur power through some type of artifact. The coins, the gems, and the energems. Again, that could work, right? Either have them originally retrieved by the ninja team, or you can do the whole archaeologist thing. Fine. But this is where you need to start differentiating, right? The best thing that you did with this concept is the whole time travel thing, going back to the past, like they did in Dino Charge, and having someone trying to turn the world into dinosaurs. Keep those things. Keep those. Have the Rangers and their enemies be on the race or the hunt for an ancient artifact tied to the prehistoric times that will give them the power to destroy the world or revert the world to the age of dinosaurs or something. Stick to that. Stick to it. Have your monsters or your enemies be time-based, like prehistoric time-based, or dinosaur, reptilian-based, and you're good. Other than that, remove the alien thing, remove the night thing, because those don't work. Remove all of those two, merge these, you got yourself a dinosaur concept that you can work with as a team. Okay, so the next one is going to be SPD. And this is where we're also going to look at the Time Force team, because they are two teams that are sci-fi based and related to the law. Now, what I'm about to say is about to sound a little contradictory, because we just talked about time travel, right? But at the same time, me personally, as a fan of comics and all this stuff, there's two things I'm really, really sick of. I'm tired of rattling my brain over the laws and the workarounds around time travel. And I'm worn out when it comes to the multiverse. However, if you're doing a cinematic universe, have your end game of a phase or whatever close out with something happening to the point where it leads up to you needing a Space Patrol Delta, or leads up to you needing a Time Force base. Do something that will lead up to it to make sense. But for you to just say, boom, we're in the future, we're starting off in the future, doesn't really make sense. I know that's how sci-fi usually works, but again, usually when you're dealing with sci-fi, you got to travel back to the past and explain how we got to a certain point. So, if you want to make it logical and do it differently to the point where it's different but still interesting enough for people, have something where you lead up to it. Like your first phase leads up to it, and then the next phase, you can start off there, and then, you can explain what happened and everything. But don't just start off in the future, and don't put us in a place where we have to jump back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Plant those seeds, and then lead up to it. And like I said, you could merge them, seeing as how more than likely, if the theory is correct, they are united, combine them, or at least start it off with one, right? And then over time, as they evolve within the structure of the academy or the base or the laws, or the world starts to invent more problems and they start to focus on more things that they need to handle, then you switch over from, okay, we used to be a Space Patrol Delta, now we're Time Force. Or we used to be Time Force, but now we're dealing more with space stuff like that. Boom. Okay, next is the Mystic Force team. Now, the Mystic Force team is another one of my favorites that I feel like you can keep. And this is where we're going to touch on Dinosaur again. Because remember when I said that night thing doesn't work well with dinosaurs because of the time problem? You could definitely put the night theme in here. One of the problems with the Power Rangers franchise is that outside of the repetitive themings of the teams, it's the repetitive motivation or the repetitive planning of the villain. It's always to take over or destroy the world of the galaxy. Mystic Force narrowed that in to the world, right? To the earth. Fine. But instead of destroying it, they just wanted to cover it in darkness. Keep that. That makes sense for a magical based theme season. Keep that whole demon thing. But instead of putting the demons or the supernatural or whatever in seasons that they were in, like what? Lightspeed Rescue, which made no sense, or anything like that, put them here and have your Mystic Force Rangers do something different. You can do what you did, find warriors and train them to be sorcerers, or you can connect the Dino Fury night thing to the magic thing and go back to having medieval rangers, or have them be like future apprentices or descendants of like Merlin or something, who secretly protects the world from the supernatural and paranormal. And then your whole big arc villain for that team will be the master of all evil, or whatever you want to call them, in this cinematic universe. Again, trying to convert the world to total darkness, spread darkness throughout the universe, remove all of the light, remove all of the faith and hope out of people. Boom. Easy enough, simple, refined, slight tweak. There we go. The next team that we have to think about is Operation Overdrive. Operation Overdrive is a team that people do not like. It's a team that didn't have much to it. Team didn't have much to it. The show was terrible, right? The concept could work, but this cinematic universe and how we are doing this video, I must say, let's keep it out. Because while their whole thing was retrieving items from across the world, I think that works better with how we redefined the ninja teams. So just take this concept and put it in the ninja teams. Because everything else you can basically avoid. But Operation Overdrive, keep out. All right, so the next one is Jungle Fury. Jungle Fury is a season that I like, but over time I've heard that it has mixed reviews, mixed opinions about it. Some people think it's great, some people think it's just average. And after seeing it a few different times through my aging, I understand, because there's some parts of it that's like, this is predictable and everything. However, I think this team works well enough in a way where it's not too hated on, and in a way where it's so different than all of the other seasons in the Power Rangers franchise, that I think you can keep this one as it is without much working on it. If you work on it or tweak it in any way, I would just say, take the whole animal spirit thing and the spirit and J thing and add those to the ninja thing in that one school, and then just remove Jungle Fury altogether, or just add this concept to ninja school altogether. But other than that, like I said, animals wanting to get rid of humans, animals wanting to rule over the world, that's different. It's martial art based and everything. I think it's fine for the most part, because like I said, this one season of the franchise was way out of what Power Rangers usually does, which is weird. But I think you don't have to do too much working on it, and you keep it as it is. All right, so the last one that we have to talk about when it comes to the Disney era is RPM. And RPM is one of people's top fives that, again, it's one of the best shows in the franchise because it's the most mature one in the franchise. And it's also another sci-fi one. This is the first one we get full confirmation on. It is in a different reality than where everything else has happened. Like I said, I am personally tired of the multiverse. And I know a lot of people are too. And I know Boom Studios comics, when it comes to the Power Rangers, deal a lot with the multiverse. So if you are going to do the Boom Studio adaptations, or at least some of them, the multiverse is most likely going to be inevitable, right? But when it comes to RPM, I have 2 to 3 ways you can do it. The first 2 are the easiest ways, right? Have this be the plot of a movie or TV show series where their villain is trying to create a virus to wipe out humans. Boom. The end. Or make that your end game. Those are your first 2 easiest options. But your next option, which is a little bit trickier, but maybe a little bit more fascinating, is to tie this into what I was saying about setting up your future phase with SPD or Time Force, where you could say, you have someone in the next phase come back in a series or a movie where they say, or you set it up in the in-game credits scene or whatever, right? And then in the next series, phase, movie or show, whatever, you have someone come back to the Council of Rangers or to your main team of Rangers or to the Ninja School or whatever the case may be. They tell you what happened. There was a virus that was created to do this, blah, 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 this. It ended up wiping out most of humanity and et cetera, et cetera. And now you have to go back in time to try to set it up. But in preparation, you help set up SPD and Time Force for a contingency plan, or Time Force / SPD or whatever it's going to be called goes back in time to stop the Vengeance virus from ever being created. Easiest ways you can do it. Easiest way you can do it. All right, so now that we have taken care of both the Zordon and the Disney era, that means the only eras left that we would have to do is the Neo Saban era. But we all know that after the Neo Saban era is the Hasbro era. And seeing as how we already eliminated some of the choices due to how we combined them with other teams or redefined them, we're just going to put the Hasbro and Neo Saban era together. So when it comes to this era, the first thing we have to look at is Samurai. This is another one that I think you can keep, but that I also think that it should be redefined. Because while it's in the Neo Saban era, and the Neo Saban era is pretty bad, I would say it's one of the better ones in the Neo Saban era. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not great like anything we just experienced in the era, or anything close to good like within the Zordon era. But it's not wretched, and I think you could do a lot with it. For starters, if you actually want to teach your audience something, do like I suggested when it came to the Zero era, what they're doing with the teacher stuff. Teach your audience about Japanese culture, Japanese history, or Japanese myth. You could tie it to a lot of myth-based things within Japan, seeing that Japan is a highly regarded mythological fraction due to anime and stuff. That's one. Two, there's certain parts of this that works. Like I said, the whole monsters trying to destroy the universe thing, that's redundant. But if you want to take the whole concept of monsters trying to merge their world with ours, that's something that can work well into this theming. Now, the Nine Logs, depending on how the Nine Logs are done, you can make the Nine Logs demons or supernatural creatures, which again, if you are going to do that, put them in with the Mystic Force side. But if you're going to make them like myth-based Japanese villains or something, then of course, touch on that. However, when it comes to the actual Samurai Rangers, I feel like this is another one where you can take the samurai training or whatever, the samurai lifestyle, and add it to the ninja school, or have an opposing school where we have opposing rangers that follow the samurai lifestyle as opposed to the ninja lifestyle. Or have your first team of villain rangers be on the samurai side versus the ninja side or something. And then like your shoguns and the guardians could be like a tribunal that, watches over the universe. Or your shoguns and guardians could be the cinematic version of like the Master Morphers or something. I don't know. But that's the way you could do it. All right, so the next one after Samurai was Megaforce. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, Megaforce was awful. That is literally like one of the worst seasons. Not just coming from my mouth, but from everybody's mouth. That is probably the worst season when it comes to Power Rangers, at least in the Neo Saban era. It's gotta be definitely one of the top 3 worst seasons of all time when it comes to the whole TV canonical thing. So don't even think about doing it. Don't even do it. Don't do it. Because one, it was terrible. Two, there was no character developments, no character stories, no character plots, nothing. And three, the whole space thing, again, like I said, we did a whole Space Ranger thing already. That's one. Two, when it comes to the whole pollution and everything, that's basically something we already talked about when it came to Wild Force. So again, redundant. Don't even do it. Now, if you want to talk about something different that you could do that is concerning Megaforce, I would say jump on the pirate bandwagon in some sort of way where Rangers are going around stealing other Ranger powers in a pirate sort of way and touch on the pirate thing. But other than that, I don't think Megaforce should be done. All right, after Megaforce, we have Dino Charge. And while Dino Charge is great, we already talked about merging it, in which we could skip this one. And then we can also skip the next one, because the next one is Ninja Steel. However, the next one after those would be Beast Morphers. Now, some parts of Beast Morphers you can work with here. But like I said, when it comes to the whole government creating their own Rangers thing, that's something you can add to the light speed based redefinement. The Vengeance computer virus thing, we already talked about that. That's something you could do for RPM or setting it up for like your future events, teams and stuff. But if you want to talk about corrupting the source of power that comes from the Rangers, you have to first discover how you are going to do the source of powers to begin with. Is it going to be the morphing grid? And if it is going to be morphing grid, is the morphing grid going to be as defined as it is within the world of comics? Or is it going to be as nuanced as it is when it comes to the TV shows? You got to first establish what it is that you're going to do with the morphing grid. And outside of that, that's really the only thing that I feel like you can pull from Beast Morphers. And honestly, I don't even want to say do that, because Beast Morphers was kind of everywhere, especially since it basically contradicted and rewrote everything that we have been told in every other season before that about how the Power Rangers morphing grid and their powers worked. So, yeah. And then, like I said, the last one we really have to talk about after Beast Morphers is Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury. We already talked about Dino Fury and how you can combine the dinosaur elements to the other dinosaur-based themes and the night elements into the Mystic Force realm. Now, when it comes to Cosmic Fury, we could skip this one too, because it's basically the same thing, just in a different realm with evolved powers. And like I said, you could combine that space stuff with every other space team. So yeah, you guys, those are all of the teams that have appeared within the sphere of the Power Rangers franchise when it comes to the TV show. And like I said, this is going to be a series, but based off of what we have heard, due to how they may be making a reboot or an actual cinematic universe, we don't really know exactly what they are going to do or what they are going to touch on. So we're going to be touching things from the comics and the TV shows within the series. But for this video, we touched on the TV show teams and the ones that they should adapt, they shouldn't adapt, or the ones that they should be refined. So with that being said, y'all let me know if y'all agree. Let me know what teams you think they should do or what they shouldn't do or how they should be done. Do you think it's going to be a cinematic universe or a reboot altogether? Or do you think that they're going to touch on stuff from the TV canon, or more likely head over to the Boom Studio comics for once? Y'all let me know what you think. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.